With the wrap of this week's top stories, I'm Sifiso Zulu. The DA has been told off by two of its Government of National Unity partners in the National Assembly over its refusal to back the 2025 budget framework and a 0.5 percentage point increase in the value-added tax rate. As the DA faces increasing isolation within the coalition over its stance on the matter, the IFP says it won't be dictated to by the DA. Meanwhile, the Patriotic Alliance says the DA should appreciate that the Finance Minister was open to negotiating down the original proposal of a 2% VAT hike. GNU partners pitted against each other in Parliament this week without any support for the budget blueprint. And this eventually led to the ANC enticing Action SA to get the support it needed to get the report through the committee stage and in the National Assembly. And after much wrangling, it was down to the vote when this decision was made in the National Assembly.
Honourable members, the outcome of the division is as follows. There were no abstentions, 182 voted against, and 194 voted in favour.
Hundreds of young people in different provinces took part in a national protest against gender-based violence. These protests in Cape Town, Johannesburg, the Eastern Cape and Bombela were sparked by the rape of a 7-year-old girl in the Eastern Cape. The child's mother says her daughter was violated last year. These protesters submitted a memorandum of demands to the Education Department in Joburg.
It's important that we also say that it's not about Ukwekwe alone. There are other Ukwekwes, in this country who are silenced, don't know where to go. And I would like to also thank the person that took it upon him or herself to make this viral, make sure that all South Africans, in actual fact, the whole world knows that there's such a situation. We're demanding justice, and we are saying that we're going to push and make sure that at least the investigations are fast-tracked so that there can be justice prevailed.
This is a matter that transcends individual tragedy, and we acknowledge the deep emotional impact it has had on all of us. However, I must stress that due to the sensitive nature of this case in particular that is in point, and the investigations that are ongoing, we can't go on at this stage to disclose all the details because they will interfere with the investigations that are currently going on and are reaching what we consider to be a very sensitive stage. And we're hoping that very soon we'll get to conclude the whole matter.
Disgraced Nigerian televangelist Pastor Timothy Omotosho has been acquitted of all 32 charges of rape and human trafficking. The verdict was handed down at the Gqeberha High Court this week. Omotosho was arrested in 2018 on multiple charges, including sexual assault, human trafficking, and racketeering. The pastor, along with his co-accused Lusanda Solani and Zigiswa Sito, both senior members of his church, are now free after a legal battle spanning nearly 8 years. Survivors detailed how Omotosho allegedly used his position to manipulate young women into sexual acts, some as young as 14 years old. But despite this, the court found that the state did not provide its case beyond reasonable doubts.
The NPA has noted the judgment of the Gqeberha High Court, which found self-proclaimed prophet Timothy Omotosho and his two co-accused not guilty on 32 charges the state indicted them on. The NPA will study the judgment and, after studying the judgment, decide on which legal avenues to explore.
Popular KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi is not fazed by any investigation into him by police watchdog Eyewitness. Last month, Eyewitness publicly announced that they were investigating Mkhwanazi after he allegedly interfered in the arrest of a correctional services official in Richards Bay in 2023. He's told EWN that he finds it odd that the probe came days after his decision to clear crime intelligence counter and security head Feroz Khan during a disciplinary hearing last month. The investigation into Khan was initiated by Eyewitness after many officers arrested during a 2021 Joburg cocaine bust registered a case with the police watchdog against Khan.
I concluded that perhaps this whole thing is coming up as a result of my acceptance of an appointment to be a presiding officer of a matter against Gerald Khan. And I believe at the time, because the lawyers were sending me emails and the likes, I started believing that, so someone perhaps wants me to back off from the case, and I will not back off from the case, because I accepted that I'm going to preside over that. There must be fairness on both sides. What is the interest of the employer and what is the interest of the employee? That's why I went for that hearing. And the matter set, and I felt that I dealt with it fairly. And I cleared Gerald Khan on all those charges that they were leveling against him. And instead, which was strange, that the charges that leveled against Gerald Khan, never mind the media issues that came up, but prior to that, but the charges that were leveled against him were coming from the recommendation from the IP. It is the IP that initiated it, that he must be charged, together with the others.
Temperatures are set to reach highs of between 32 and 39 degrees in parts of the Cape Peninsula over the next few days. The South African Weather Service has issued an advisory for increased temperatures in the Cape Winelands, the West Coast and Cape Town. And this means there's an increased risk of wildfires. Residents have been warned to stay hydrated.
The public is urged to be on high alert for any heat-related impacts and to report any emergencies to the city's Public Emergency Communication Centre by dialing 021 480 7700 from a cell phone or 107 from a landline.
That's it from us this week. Thank you for watching.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.